Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me for another 18-hole vlog. This time we are going to be playing Big Sky Golf Course, and this is one of the most scenic golf courses in British Columbia. Obviously, you can tell the mountains kind of just hit you right out of the gate. As soon as you get into the car and then you drive up the driveway there, it is just, as soon as you see it, it's very, very special. And you never ever get tired of these views. It's really fun. It's just it's very special. I love this place. And it's funny, when I first actually came here, it was kind of a funny story. It was during COVID, and we went and hiked Joffrey Lakes, and it was like 35 degrees out. So we hiked Joffrey Lakes in the morning, and then we came to play Big Sky at about 4 p.m. And again, it was so hot, like 35 degrees. It felt like it was 40. And this was a few years ago, kind of, I think, like, 2019, maybe 2020. And it was really hot. We were really tired. And I was wondering why no one else was there. No one was really after us, and no one was really before us. And we got absolutely destroyed by mosquitoes. There was like a billion mosquitoes everywhere. It was almost impossible to swing without getting bit. And I'm not being hyperbolic here. Like 20 times. If you stood still for more than a second, you just got destroyed by the mosquitoes. And when I left there, it kind of left like a bit of a salty taste in my mouth. I was like, you know what, the views are great, but like I really did not enjoy playing this golf course because of all those things, how hot it was, all the mosquitoes. And I was like, you know what, the layout of the course is nothing special. But then, like, I gave it another chance. I came back a couple years later, and I learned, one, do not go at around 4 o'clock when it's twilight. Obviously, it's going to be a lot cheaper, but the mosquitoes are going to be still there. Obviously, not as prevalent as they were in the past, but man, if you're going to go, like, go during the day. It's such a more pleasant experience. The bugs just kind of ruined it for me the first time. And then when I came back the next time, no bugs, no nothing. It was so peaceful, and I really got to enjoy kind of the beauty of the golf course, the beauty of the views like this. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it, and it kind of fell back. Not fell back because I never was in love with Big Sky, but I really did fall in love with Big Sky because of how close to nature you kind of feel when you're there. You feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. You feel like you're just kind of close to everything. There's, we're going to get here on this par 3, and to the left of the green there is a nice river, and I've seen some bears in there a few times, and it's just so peaceful. It's so calming. And you just have that mountain view the whole time. It's really fun. It hits you hard, and you'll never, ever, ever get tired of it. And yeah, I really enjoyed it this time, and I really do like the golf course. It's very flat. There, you don't need a cart, to be honest. Like, you can have a cart. It is not necessarily in the slightest. It is super flat. It's a good walk. And also, too, like, again, not to be nitpicky here, the cart paths are not great. They're very bumpy. So if you're only driving on the cart path, you're going to spill some drinks. It's really bumpy, and I think that's something they probably need to take care of. And I imagine this course is very close to the river, so they've had flooding issues in the past, so it's probably not their fault at all. But fun golf course. We're on the 6th hole now. Even par, we made a birdie and a bogey, kind of that par 5 there. And yeah, we're not going to play like the best, unfortunately. I kind of drove 3 hours. It's about a 3-hour drive, maybe 2 hours and 40 minutes from my place in Vancouver to here. It's a beautiful scenic drive. It's very fun, but essentially got out of the car and just straight to the first tee. So there wasn't a lot of like warm up. They do have a driving range. They do have a really nice driving range. They do have the potential for grass. They usually keep the grass only for members, but they do have a chipping green. They do have a sand bunker, which is awesome. They do have a couple putting greens, which is awesome. So you can warm up before your round. Whenever I film, I just kind of like get to the golf course, straight to the first tee, no warm-up, no nothing. And it's funny because, like, a lot of people, granted, whatever happens, happens. If I make bogeys, if I make doubles, triples, I'm going to post it. If I'm going to decide to film 18 holes, you're going to get 18 holes of me. And again, this is not a score I'm proud of in the slightest, but it's real, and I think that's kind of important. That being said, I'm always hyper aware, and probably too much because I'm already a fast golfer already, but like, even though there's nobody behind us, like, I get so apprehensive and so like nervous, not nervous, but anxious, I guess is a better term. I pumped it in the water on this hole, by the way, so it's going to go to a bogey, unfortunately. but I never read my putts. I go really quick. I'm always like super conscious of like other people. I was actually playing with another guy here. He's one of the social media guys at Big Sky. Super nice guy, Graham. Very, very hospitable. But yeah, I literally don't read a single putt. I don't do anything. I just kind of like go, just hit the shot, go, film, because I'm always like just super, super anxious about people waiting, because that's the last thing I would want to do to someone, because, you know, someone's like, the courses anywhere aren't cheap, and like, you know, this is kind of like resort kind of style destination place. So I think it gets to about, it never gets to $200. I think it's like 180 is kind of the max rate, no cart, and I think like it's 130 after 3. It's either after 2 or 3 p.m. It's $130 for Twilight, and that's a lot of money for people. So if you're paying a lot of money to play at a golf course like this, and there's some jackass filming themselves on every single hole, like, and you're waiting for them, I wouldn't want that at all. So even though there's nobody in front of us, actually there is people in front of us. There's people in front of us. We're waiting on almost every single hole, and there's nobody behind us. Like, I just can't get out of my head to not stay in my routine, because I'm just always like worried about you know, people wondering what I'm doing, essentially, because it's very unorthodox what I'm doing, going and filming 18 holes there. And just, you know what, there's another, just to stop what we're talking about right now, I hit some really, really good pitch shots and chip shots and flop shots this round. I had a couple, I think I hit like 3 or 4 stiff. Granted, I did not hit the ball super, super close. When you're in the rough here, it is so juicy, it is so thick, and the ball comes out with next to no spin. So if you're playing here and you're in the rough, if you have like a decent lie, it is going to come out really hot. So make sure you're landing it, like, if the pin is at the back, land it front edge. If the pin is at the front, land it short of the green. If you're landing shots on the green out of the rough, it is next to impossible to stop it, unfortunately. But I did hit a lot of really, really good pitch shots, really good chip shots. I was kind of feeling it today, to be honest. The conditions here are awesome. The rough was tight. The fairway was tight. So it made it very easy to kind of like slide the club under to kind of get it close. But again, that being said, we did not hit too many greens. And right now we're even par, which is not bad. I hit a lot of shots to, you know, 30 feet, so I couldn't really take advantage to make any of the putts. The greens here, early season, are going to be a little bit slower than, you know, when you get kind of like June, July, August, just because the golf course, I think, literally just opened the week prior, and they're always going to be slower just because, you know, I think the place had snow like a week ago. A week ago from filming this, not a week ago in June. So just know that. But I think the best time to play this golf course is early season. Like, I think at the time of filming this, I think it's beginning of May or end of April. And you get the snow-capped mountains. It looks so cool because you get all the snow on there. And if you got to go on, I know it's hard to plan, but you have to go when it's a nice sunny day, because the way the sun hits kind of the mountains, it just looks unreal. And we're going to get to the next hole here shortly, and it is one of the best views on the golf course. It's just so special, so awesome. It's so cool to be able to experience this living in British Columbia, because I know a lot of people that are watching this, wherever you live right now, you don't have views like this. Maybe if you live in like Switzerland or Sweden or something like that, maybe you got something like this. But there's very few places in the world where you can play golf at a base of a mountain like this, and it's just so, I feel very lucky to be able to play at a place like this. So if you are going to come here, early season I find is the best to come, because one, it's a little bit cheaper because they're not quite at the peak season rates, and I think peak season rates kind of kick in end of May or beginning of June, so kind of right now. So for the best views and the best price, and the actually conditions are actually pretty good, I would play this golf course in May. That is my best advice. This one here, no tracer, because I could not find a tracer that would catch this much of a hook. This is a dumb hole. So it's either just blast it on the green with driver, go over the corner, or just lay up. I hit 3-wood for some stupid reason, and I was very in between clubs, and I knew I was in between clubs, and I just made a very bad swing. And again, even though I'm a professional golfer, I still make stupid decisions like this. If I just would have blasted driver, I probably would have hit a better shot. If I just would have hit like a 4-iron off the tee, I would have hit a better shot. I got super lucky to be able to find that ball on the hazard to kind of like hack it on the green or just short of the green and 2-putt for a nice par. But I put a lot more stress on myself than I need to. So if you're going to lay up, like lay up. There's absolutely no reason in the world to hit a 3-wood there. Unless your 3-wood is a perfect layup shot, then that's fine. But even if I would have hit a great one there, I would have been like probably 40 yards short of the green, which would have been very tricky and weird number to kind of go at the green here. So if you're going to lay up, just make sure you hit it to a number you're comfortable with, a number you like, because there's no point blasting a 3-wood. Just go for it, or just take your medicine and lay it up. And again, another lovely view here. Sadly, we left this putt. This is actually a little bit shorter, longer than it looks. It looks like it's 2 feet, but it's actually, I think, like 4.5 feet, almost 5 feet. And I shoved it so hard. So it's not great. We're 3 over par right now, and it's it's not good. Lovely filming by me as well. You can see my camera on the bottom right corner there. And this one I was filming YouTube and Instagram, so I got all 18 holes for both, and it's a little bit tricky doing it for both. One, because, well, I got to have 2 phones, because Instagram, I have to have it vertical, and YouTube, I got to have it kind of, you know, horizontal, so it makes it a little bit tricky. This is probably the longest putt I made all day for par, so I was very happy, because it would have felt very bad shooting 76. Wouldn't have been great. So we're 3 over par on the last hole. Absolutely nuke this driver. Almost ended up going in the hazard on the right. If you're going to aim a little bit more right, because the hazard on the right does creep in. And this golf course does have tons of hazard, tons of fescue here. So if you're going to be a little bit, you know, it may seem open off the tee, but this stuff creeps in. Like, you can't really see any of this from the tee. So if you're going to play here, just make sure, like, you're prioritizing fairways. Obviously, you want to blast driver a lot, but hitting out of the rough sucks. And if you go a little bit more beyond the rough, you will not find your ball. There was even a couple instances playing here, I did not find my ball. So we're going to wrap up here. Again, we're going to chip this putt stiff. So we're going to make another birdie here to shoot a 2 over 74. Not great, but I just want to thank you guys for watching. If you're still watching this here, I really appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm almost at my 4,000 watch hours, so I can start making money and add money from this. So I appreciate you guys. Have a good day, and we'll see you next week.